Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is a recording of a sermon by TBA Rabbinic Intern Chayva Lehrman.
So I really feel for Abraham in Parshat Chayva. He and Sarah trusted God's directions, took a long journey with a sense of purpose. And now Sarah has passed away, and in seeking a burial ground for her, Abraham admits that he is landless. He's unsettled physically and spiritually. And it's not despite his holy journey, but dafka because of it. In approaching the Hittites of Hebron to purchase a burial plot, he says, Ger v'toshav anochi imachem, tnu li achuzat kever imachem ve'ekvara metim milfanayim. Abraham's self-description, Ger v'toshav, depicts a very specific status. The term is a hendiades, where two nouns are joined to articulate a meaning instead of using an adjective. Think of the phrase nice and warm. The room is nice and warm. We don't take this to mean that the room is a nice room and it's a warm room, right? The room is something else. It's cozy. In Abraham's case, he uses the term ger, stranger, and toshav, resident. Ger v'toshav does not mean resident stranger. In a small town like Hebron, that would be an oxymoron. Everyone would know each other. No resident would be a stranger. Therefore, it's less a descriptor than a legal status, in which Abraham has the right to reside in the land, but no natural right to own property. This isn't the only place in Torah where we find ger v'toshav as a term. We also see it in Leviticus 25, in which it says that a ger v'toshav can be both an indentured servant and the master of a Hebrew indentured servant. And Rashi comments here that a ger v'toshav is one who's committed to not worship idols, but who continues to eat carrion. In essence, someone who doesn't threaten Jewish life, but also doesn't partake in it, continues to do their own thing. A little familiar, a little apart. And a little familiar, a little apart can be an uncomfortable position to be in. You can hear this discomfort in Abraham's voice. Ger v'toshav anochi imachem, tnu li achuzat kever imachem. Imachem, imachem, he repeats twice, among you, among you. And commentators have much to say about ger v'toshav, but very little about this repetition. To my ear, it shows a desire to fit in, to stay, to be connected. Because indeed, he's asking to bury his wife. He's asking to secure a place where his family can come in her memory forever. He's not asking to join their tribe. Later in the same parsha, he does not seek a wife for Isaac from the Bnei Chet. He just wants a space among them, to be accepted without having to give up his own identity. Now, our journeys are all circuitous, and all of our identities are probably not as straightforward as we might present them in any given moment. Yesterday, I spoke a lot about denominational identity, but I think that the essence is true wherever we go. Sometimes the uniqueness of our paths can make us feel like gerei toshav, like resident strangers, even among people we love. But the story does have a happy ending. The Hittites, especially Ephron ben Tzochar, offer Abraham a place among them. And we could stop here because it's such a blessing and a nechemta, a comfort that to know that we can be accepted somewhere. But Torah has 70 faces, and if Abraham is one, so is Ephron ben Tzochar. In addition to being accepted, may we see the vulnerability of being different, even in those we see often, and may we offer them a place among us.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.